The world has gone from the days of swords and muskets to a complete new age of sophisticated military equipment. Modern warfare can't be executed in the absence of explosives. While the major weapons of war in this age are explosives, they are nowhere all on the same level. Some are more dangerous. You do not need any military experience to know the most dangerous weapons in the world. You know why? Because we have compiled them for you all in this video. So here are the 10 most powerful weapons in the world. If you like these videos and want to see more, make sure you leave us a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on post notifications to be the first to watch all our new and exciting videos. Flamethrower. The function OF of this device is not something you need to guess, as it was simply designed to project a controllable stream of fire. This weapon might be one of the most dangerous in modern warfare. Nonetheless, it dates way back to the 1st century and was first used by the ancient Greeks. In modern warfare, this weapon saw use in the First as well as the Second World Wars. There are various types of flamethrowers. It was built to simply release a long flame of gas. The other, however, releases a stream of fire that relies on a flammable liquid. While these different flamethrowers are made of liquid or gas, liquids are more commonly used. Flamethrowers are not used like regular weapons. They're mainly used in attacking bunkers and fortifications. Apart from being different, flamethrowers can be gotten in various forms. Some can be mounted on vehicles. Tsar Bomba. The Tsar Bomba is a perfect definition of the expression weapon of mass destruction. While this weapon is in a class of its own, it's often regarded as the response of the Soviet Union to the nuclear program of the United States. Unlike some other powerful weapons in this video that were designed to simply eliminate threats, the Tsar Bomba was built to take out everything in its path. Also, it has a very huge perimeter. This weapon is so powerful that it was only detonated once. Its very scary effect has stood in the way of a second detonation. Hopefully, it does not get detonated again, as a second detonation might actually be the end of the world. I hope this doesn't happen. It's a common knowledge that there are lots of powerful weapons in the biggest armories of the world. Nonetheless, none of these weapons compares to the Tsar Bomba. While no device can actually be compared to this weapon, to help you understand how powerful it is, we can try comparing it to the American Army's B-41. The B-41 is a 3-stage nuclear device and is the only one of such weapons created by the United States so far. The maximum yield of the B-41 is 25 megatons TNT, while that of the Tsar Bomba is 100 megatons TNT. This makes it 4 times more powerful than the B-41, so you can only imagine how powerful the Tsar Bomba really is. While the Tsar Bomba is the most powerful weapon ever known to man, it just might not be as effective as other weapons in combat. I'm sure at this point you're a bit confused. Well, here you'll find out why I said this with time. After being detonated the first and only time, this weapon created a 40-mile-high mushroom cloud. According to estimates, this mushroom cloud was 7 times the size of Mount Everest. This is scary. However, there is more. With this height, it exceeded the stratosphere and even went into the mesosphere. There's even more. This bomb released a huge fireball alongside the already very terrifying mushroom cloud. This fireball was as high as the point the Tsar Bomba got dropped from the plane. Also, it could be seen more than 600 miles away. The Soviet Union basically built the Tsar Bomba as a show of force. Lots of military experts might not agree with this. However, considering the fact that it was so huge and could barely fit into the jet that dropped it, the Tsar Bomba might not actually come in handy during war. MIRV. The MIRV is an improvement on the MRV. It's an abbreviation for Multiple Independently Targetable Reentry Vehicle. Also, it serves as a payload for ballistic missiles that come with several warheads. Each warhead can be aimed at one of several targets. It stands out from the older warheads that only had the capacity to move a single nuclear bomb on one missile and aim check for just one target. This was modified to the Multiple Reentry Vehicle (MRV) missile, which was built to carry several warheads that could not be aimed individually. Due to this, the MRV worked like a shotgun. Nonetheless, with the MIRV, all warheads can now be targeted. ICBM. With a speed of 3,400 miles, the ICBM, also known as the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, is a missile that is propelled to check towards a specific target. Although a weapon in itself, the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile was built majorly for moving nuclear weapons. ICBMs were designed to be launched from missile silos, submarines, vehicles, and airplanes. It is a vital part of the MAD doctrine as it offers a lot of flexibility. Due to the level of flexibility it offers, it gives warring nations the freedom they need to take a second strike and inflict major damage to the enemy. The ICBM works hand in hand with the MIRV and can be used in launching many nuclear warheads simultaneously. Russia's aviation thermobaric bomb of increased power. This weapon was tested in 2007 and was called the father of all bombs, FOAB. Now, bombs do not just get named randomly. So if a bomb is known as the father of all bombs, trust me, it's got to be really powerful. This weapon's not just powerful, it's been reported to be 4 times more lethal than the largest non-nuclear bomb manufactured by the United States. Since this bomb is more powerful than the GBU-43B massive ordnance air bomb, which is called the mother of all bombs, so it is simply apt when it's called the father of all bombs. The MOAB has not been in the Russian arsenal for a long time. However, since getting into the Russian arsenal, it has become a replacement for lots of smaller nuclear bombs used by the Russians. Although this bomb is not a nuclear weapon, its pressure and blast is similar to that of a nuclear weapon. Nonetheless, it is on a smaller scale. This bomb does not need to get to the floor before detonating. It detonates while in the air and sends extreme temperatures and supersonic shockwaves around. This bomb is far from being a conventional weapon. Its blast waves are more sustained and longer than those of other regular bombs, so you can trust it to have its effect over a large perimeter. There is more. This bomb does not need an oxidizing agent while exploding, as it makes use of the oxygen in the atmosphere. A chimera virus is gotten from the combination of about 2 or more viruses. Its invention can be traced down to the 1980s. Sometime in the 1980s, the Soviet Union carried out an experiment which involved injecting genetic materials from different viruses into a smallpox. This experiment birthed the chimera virus. Due to this process, a fresh virus can possess the appearance and virulence of the smallpox when seen under a microscope. Simultaneously, it'll possess the ability to spread a totally different infection. Nimitz-class aircraft carrier. Popular as the most expensive and the largest warship in the world, the Nimitz-class aircraft carrier cost about $4.5 billion. This carrier weighs up to 100,000 tons and has the ability to carry about 90 aircrafts. That's not all. It comes with anti-aircraft missiles and guns. All things being equal, the Nimitz-class aircraft carrier is expected to last about 50 years. Although this weapon is still very much available and active, there are reports that the United States is already beginning to develop its replacement. This replacement is known as the Gerald R. Ford class, which, as expected, is bigger and will cost about $12 billion. At the moment, the United States has 10 Nimitz-class aircraft carriers in active service. Schwerer Gustav. If you guessed this weapon was produced in Germany, you guessed right. It is an 80-centimeter railway gun and was built to be used on a railway wagon. Although still very elegant in modern-day warfare, the Schwerer Gustav was built by Krupp of Essen in the 1930s. It was designed basically for causing damage to the French Maginot Line. The French Maginot Line was the strongest fort there was at the time, so to wreak havoc on the fort, the Schwerer Gustav had to be very powerful. Gustav was designed to fire shells that weigh 7 tons over a distance of 47 kilometers. After being completely assembled, this weapon has a mass of close to 1,350 tons. As you can imagine, this weapon was manufactured in a preparation to face France in battle. DSR-50, the 50 cal sniper rifle. This weapon was built to create holes in military vehicles. So you can only imagine what'll happen to an individual when shot by the weapon. This device comes with an integrated hydraulic eco-dampening system and an integrated muzzle brake. Rocket-propelled grenade. From its name, one can easily guess what the RPG is without any military experience. It's a grenade that is powered by a rocket. Popularly known as RPG and obviously very easy to identify, the rocket-propelled grenade is a weapon that is so powerful it can be used to take out tanks. This weapon gives every fighter the liberty of firing anti-tank rockets from the shoulder. The rocket-propelled grenade is small and doesn't look complicated. Well, the reason for this is indeed a simple and inexpensive weapon. Well, regardless of how simple it is, this weapon can destroy a sophisticated tank. I know this seems very ironic. Nonetheless, this should give you an idea and why it made it to this video. The rocket-propelled grenade sees action in most conflicts that take place around the world today. The reason for this is that it's not expensive and can be used by a fighter with just very little training. Although very popular in modern-day warfare, this small but very mighty weapon came into limelight in the Vietnam War. While this war lasted, the People's Army and the Viet Cong used it as a major tool in combating the Americans that were equipped with tanks and other sophisticated weapons. While this weapon was made prominent in the Vietnam War, it also enjoyed use by the Mujahideen when Afghanistan was invaded by the Soviet Army. Although RPG, as it is generally called, was not invented by the Americans, the American version of this light and extremely lethal weapon was manufactured in the 1950s. While this weapon simply functions like the rocket-propelled grenade, the Americans chose to call theirs the lightweight anti-tank weapon Law. Since its inception, the RPG has been a menace to tanks. Therefore, you might just not want to remain in a tank if faced by a fighter with a rocket-propelled grenade.